Good morning, Ayton here. My morning walk. It's a bit of a grey morning. It's a bit wet, but it's not cold. Previous conversations we've been talking about NFTs, Metaverse. We talked about how to value them. You know, the investments that are being piling in. How do these investors, the people making those investment decisions, how do they know what they're buying? My conclusion is they don't, because the engineering of NFTs on the blockchain, in particular Ethereum, doesn't work. So let's look at that really. Let's understand why. Because somebody would have done a technology due diligence, I would have thought, if you're going to deploy 10, 20, 30 million of capital. So I'm bemused how money changes hands then, because Ethereum is a ledger-based protocol. Okay, all it does is record token movement, but in one direction. So Nick spends 50 ether, is recorded into an account on Ethereum, not a file. There's no receipt of my exchange of 50, no description of what it's for. And as a ledger-based protocol, you can't see past that transaction. You can't, as with a proof of work protocol like Bitcoin, go back to Genesis to see the original flow of blocks and exchange of tokens. The other thing is a non-fungible token. They tell you that the token is directly linked to the asset. It's not. What you get is a thing called a smart contract, which is neither smart nor a contract. It's a what if statement, it's a pointer, and then, so if this happens, do this, if that happens. So Nick gives 50 to Ethereum, somewhere there's a smart contract that says send a JPEG of the thing Nick thinks he's bought to this custodian over here, or to Nick directly. It's all a bit woolly, isn't it, really? But there are ways of doing it properly with a non-fungible asset. We all own non-fungible assets. We own houses, we own cars. They're unique, they're different. Antique furniture, antique clock, an old watch, an old car, an MG, E-type Jag. They're non-fungible, they're unique, they have provenance, they have history. A non-fungible asset can represent physical assets. They can be digitally twinned or paired to them, but not on Ethereum. Can't do it on most blockchain protocols, actually, because it's not built for that. It's built for a different purpose. And I think it's rapidly becoming clear that Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, they've been years and years and years in development. You know, some of them are smart contract platforms. What does that actually mean? Smart contracts are just if-then statements, you know, that try and get the logic of a business model to try and support and underwrite the business logic that's going on. If this happens, do that. If that happens, do that, what have you. But the problem with Ethereum being ledger-based is you can't audit it. And the fundamentals of business is accountability, trust, and audit. Now, trust. Blockchain delivers trust that the central authority is not tampering with things. But it doesn't deliver trust at a transaction level because it can't record transactions. It just doesn't. Conventional accounting, conventional applications use a file system. Why is that important? Well, files have a unique state, and they have track and traceability. Yeah, it's that simple. So, you know, NFTs, non-fungible assets, that's where it's going. Can you engineer it in Ethereum? No. Can you engineer it on a different blockchain protocol? Sure you can, providing it has certain elements in the protocol. providing you can generate receipts, providing you can record. I give 50 ether, providing you record what Nick gets in exchange for that 50 ether. It's called a dual transaction, or a normal transaction. You go to a shop, you buy something, you get a receipt for payment, and they hand you the physical item. You go online, you get a receipt for the transaction, you get confirmation of delivery, you even get a picture, and these days the delivery driver calls you and says, Nick, we're about to drop it off, are you home? Non-fungible assets. Talk soon.